What's good, everybody? How is everybody doing on this rainy Thursday evening? Welcome to the latest edition of On the Mic. I'm your host, Mike Jones. I'm hoping everybody has had a productive and peaceful week. We're approaching the near of another week. We done got some great weather overall. Past few days have been sunny, sun shining, been feeling good outside. We ain't got to worry about no snow no more. Snow over with. Don't mind me. I'm feeling good. I'm just vibing to some music in the background. Facebook, YouTube, I do not own the rights to none of this music that I'm playing in the background. So please, just let me live, Facebook. Let me live, YouTube. Let me vibe out. I'm trying to add a different element to the podcast. For those of you who are tuning in, please report yourselves. Let me know if you are here rocking with me this evening. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. I wrote last week, and I will give you guys a reminder. On the Mic will air every Thursday. That's right. We are going bi-weekly into the end of the school year. I am an educator, and there will be days where a brother just be tired. I realized that for me to give the best energy for y'all is to do it every other week. Once the summer comes around, we'll be back live weekly. But On the Mic will air every other Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube. Once again, On the Mic will be streaming live every other Thursday until the summer at 7 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube. If you want to check out this episode and previous episodes of On the Mic, check out the On the Mic Productions YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in On the Mic Productions, subscribe to the channel, check out past episodes, smash that like button. Also, if you want to be a guest on the Mic, please hit me up. I've said it once, I've said it, and I'll say it again. I'm going to start sliding people inboxes. I'm gonna start hitting people's DMs up, man. Like I got a plethora of people who I want to talk to. I'm throwing the olive branch out there to y'all. If you want to be a guest, let me know. Hit my inbox. But I will track you down eventually. I want to get some interviews going. I want to get some other perspectives live on this podcast. So if you want to be a guest on the Mic, please let me know. Hit my inbox. If you see any posts that I share or I write, comment on that if you want to join the podcast. Hell, I got a Facebook wall. Right on that. Spam that wall up if you want to be a guest. Hey. This vibe is just some music, y'all, as we get started here. Also, after On the Mic is complete, I will be switching over to Twitch. You can check out me and my wrestling brethren. We have a podcast every Thursday at 8:30 on Twitch entitled the Under the Ring Podcast. You can check us out at twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. Once again, you can check out the Under the Ring Podcast, a podcast that I do weekly with my bros on Twitch. We are live at 8:30 every Thursday at twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. Speaking of Twitch, if you enjoy gaming as well, if you want to check out some more gaming content, my little sister has her own Twitch page. You can check her out at twitch.tv/Mo_2_time. Once again, check out my sister Monique's Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Mo_2_times. Last but certainly not least, for those of you who rock with my wife's artwork, please check out her Etsy page at etsy.com/shop/RavenJArt. Once again, if you rock with my wife's artwork, if you want to get some merchandise, hey, spring is near. You want to get you some t-shirts? We got the Nubia print, we got the Storm print, we got Black Panther, we got all that on my wife's shop. Hit up her shop at etsy.com/shop/RavenJR. For those of you who have supported my wife in the past, when this continue to support her, I appreciate you. I appreciate you to the fullest. She busts her ass in this art game, man. She loves it. It's her passion. And she's constantly cranking out artwork on the daily. So please check out her Etsy shop. Once again, if you are tuning in, please let me know. Let me know. Let me check the live feed myself. Because sometimes, for whatever reason, sometimes StreamYard, and by the way, shout out to StreamYard. This is the site that I use to stream on the mic. But sometimes StreamYard, y'all don't be showing all the comments, man. Y'all be showing the comments. I don't understand why. So I got the video loaded up here on my phone so I can communicate with y'all. All right. The time has come. So I was just minding my business a couple weeks ago, just scrolling on social media, going down social media rabbit holes. And and the beautiful thing about social media is that you connect with different people from all different types of places, whether it be people in your own city, in your own state, or in the country. You join these different Facebook groups and you meet people from New York or Texas or Mississippi, Florida, California, and you get to connect with these people and you get to see what they go through in their home states, right? You get to see how politics affect them in their home cities and home states. So once again, I was going through my rabbit hole, just scrolling, and I see something that caught my attention. It says the governor of Texas and the governor of Mississippi, they are planning on opening up their states at 100%, meaning they are lifting the mandates, all the COVID mandates, as far as wearing the mask, socially distancing yourselves, keep your hands washed, all that stuff. They are lifting those COVID mandates. They want to open. And when I first started, I'm thinking, they had got to be out their damn mind. We are still dealing with a pandemic. We have lost over 500,000 people. We have lost over 500,000 people, man. And it is so ridiculous that you got these politicians, you got these governors who are so thirsty to open up these states, man. And this pandemic has proven that we are not ready to be open as a country. We are not open at all, man. Like, to be honest, we should have been shut down. If we really wanted to get this virus out of here, we should have shut down the months of January, February, and this month, March. I can just about guarantee you, if you shut down your states during the bulk of winter, all this COVID would go away. People will be at home. People will be safe. People won't be out here ripping and running. People won't be looking for a reason to go out and be amongst places where there's a mass amount of people. People will be home. We did it last spring. Why couldn't we do it this winter? During the coldest months of the year in a lot of places in America. But no. And the first signs of this actually started because you got to think about it. Here in Ohio, we had curfews and stuff. We had our curfew, where you had to be, you did all the bars and stuff, and restaurants were closing at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. But let's keep it a buck. Folks were still out. People were still doing their thing. Hell, you still had places where they were still open past the curfew. But now, like in the case of Texas and Mississippi, they want to open all the way open. They said, screw this. We don't want to lose no more money. Our businesses have suffered enough. The people have suffered enough. We are back open. So I want to read an article that I was reading earlier from the state of Texas. Just give me 1 second. All right. This is an article that was written by KATC News in Texas. It says, Texans opens at 100% capacity with no mask mandate. It says on Wednesday, the state of Texas fully reopened. Governor Greg Abbott last week issued an executive order lifting the mask mandate in Texas and increasing capacity of all businesses and faculties in the state to 100%. For those of you, let me zoom in for y'all a little bit. I'm going to read this again. On Wednesday, which is today, which was yesterday. On Wednesday, the state of Texas fully reopened. Governor Greg Abbott last week issued an executive order lifting the mask mandate in Texas and increasing capacity of all businesses and faculties in the state to 100%. This executive order, according to Texas, rescinds most of the governor's earlier executive orders related to COVID-19. On Wednesday, March 10th, again, which was yesterday, 2021, all businesses of any type may open to 100% capacity. Additionally, this order ends the statewide mask mandate in Texas. Businesses may still limit capacity or implement additional safety protocols at their own discretion. And this was a statement by the governor of Texas a week before about this decision. With the medical advancements of vaccines and antibodies, therapeutic drugs, Texas now has the tools to prevent Texans from the virus. Do they really? Who knows? Said Governor Abbott. We must now do more to restore livelihoods and normalcy for Texans by opening Texas 100%. I'm not going to pretend to be the smartest guy in the world because I'm not. But I consider myself pretty intelligent. We're dealing with a pandemic that has killed over 500,000 people. And this man is talking about we must now do more to restore livelihoods and normalcy for Texans by opening Texas 100%. Bruh, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, you guys have faced the worst winter storm in your state's history. When people all throughout the state of Texas were in their homes, were dealing with water not working, no power. There were cases where people's electric bills, even when the electricity and gas were off, still had bills upwards to $10,000. This wasn't 6 months ago. This wasn't a year ago, 2 years ago. This happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, where temperatures were at a record low in Texas. You had temperatures in the teens in Texas. That is unheard of. And this man is talking about we must now do more to restore livelihoods and normalcy for Texans by opening up Texas 100%. How? How is that restoring the livelihood of your people in the state of Texas? Or in any state for that matter? How is putting your people more at risk? How is putting your people at risk going to benefit them? There is nothing positive about this. So he goes on to say, make no mistake, COVID-19 has not disappeared, but it is clear from the recoveries, vaccinations, reduced hospitalizations, and safe practices that Texans are using the state mandates are no longer needed. That Texans are using the state mandates are no longer needed. Okay. Today's announcement does not abandon safe practices that Texans have mastered over the past year. Instead, it is a reminder that each person has a role to play in their own personal safety and the safety of others. Basically, what he's saying is, you're on your own, bruh. It's every man for yourself out here. You know, we're going to be open regardless. Whether you want to wear your mask, continue to wear your mask, or you don't have to wear your mask. You are on your own. He also says, with this executive order, we are ensuring that all businesses and families in Texas have the freedom to determine their own destiny. And you know what? That's an interesting last line right there. Because one of the things that I was reminded, especially when this pandemic first hit, and when you first had the conversations of mask and keep make sure you're socially distant and you can't go to this place. You can't go to this place, because it's at max capacity. You can't go here and here. Folks were so pissed because folks do not like being told what to do. It's bad enough that a lot of us, we work in professions where we have a boss and we have rules and regulations that we have to face at our jobs. We're not trying to deal with that on our free time. This pandemic, especially early on when we were shut down, this pandemic took away a lot of freedoms that so many people were used to. That so many people, as us as Americans, we were spoiled with those freedoms to do whatever we want, whenever we want. The pandemic stripped that away with a lot of these shutdowns. And these governors, these states are making it clear this year in 2021, we are not going through that again. We will risk the livelihoods of our citizens to make sure that businesses don't get shut down again. We're not gonna miss out on any money. And mind you, what follows spring? Summer. You think these governors want to miss out on all the money that they lost last year during the summer? No. All these businesses that were lost that had to close down because of this COVID, these governors are not trying to deal with that shit again. And they will risk the health of their people to make sure that capitalism reigns supreme over this. Because capitalism got exposed. It got exposed. This capitalistic society got exposed thanks to this pandemic. And this a little bit more from what he said, and then I'll end it here. It said, if COVID-19 hospitalizations in any of the 22 hospital regions in Texas get above 15% of the hospital bed capacity in that region for 7 straight days, a county judge in that region may use COVID-19 mitigation strategies. They say, however, that county judges may not impose jail time for not following COVID-19 orders, nor may any penalties be imposed for failing to wear a mask. If restrictions are imposed at a county level, those restrictions may not include reducing capacity to less than 50% for any entity. Wow. You already know they are praying. They are praying and hoping that number does not even get near 15%, let alone get above 15%. So, and I'm thinking, okay, Texas, they be wilding. Texas is wild. You hear some crazy things going on in the state of Texas. Hell, just again, during that same period, you had a former mayor in a smaller town in Texas basically write the most shittiest memo to his citizens, basically saying, you're on your own. If you want to survive this, you got to do what you got to do. We are not giving out any handouts. You got to basically use survival tactics. You are on your own, bro. You better get the getting or you get got. That's basically what he said. And by the way, he resigned the day afterwards for that stupidity. And thankfully he's gone because the city of Colorado, Texas, they didn't deserve that bullshit. Anyway, as I was reading this, and then when I first heard about this, I'm thinking, there's no way. There's no way that Ohio will follow suit. There's no way, man. I think our governor, even though he's a Republican also, I think our governor will be a little bit more cautious than that. Nope. Just about a week or so later, Governor DeWine says that we are working towards opening up the state of Ohio. And I'm like, of course. Of course. Because like I just said, these governors are not trying to lose out on any more money for these businesses. They're not trying to lose spring, and they damn sure are not trying to lose another summer thanks to COVID. So this is what our governor Mike DeWine said. Says Governor DeWine, and this article is on was written exactly a week ago from the day. In Fox 19 it says Governor DeWine announces when Ohio's health orders will be lifted. Here we go. It says, and I'm gonna zoom this in for y'all as well. It says Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced Thursday that all health orders will be lifted when the state gets down to 50 COVID-19 cases per 100,000 residents for 2 weeks. Cases per 100,000 people for a 2-week frame is the standard measure Ohio has followed since early in the pandemic, DeWine says. Victory is in sight. Is it? Said the governor said during his statewide address. He says steps have already been taken to return our lives back to normal, including the curfew being lifted, which, like I said before, that was the most lenient curfew ever. Motherfuckers was still out here doing their thing. Motherfuckers was not acknowledging that curfew at all. Removal of stay-at-home orders and the opening of restaurants, bars, and gyms. DeWine says the vaccine is the most efficient and effective weapon against COVID-19. And over 1.8 million Ohioans have been vaccinated. Last time I checked, that makes just about 10% of the state. Our path back is by each of us getting vaccinated when we can, and by each of us wearing masks in public. While no one will be forced to take the vaccine, the more of us who are vaccinated, the more complete our victory, and the more confidently we can put this behind us, he said. And then you see a tweet here from Governor DeWine. Said, the end of our fight is now. The end of our fight is now in view, but we must continue pressing forward in these final days. We must not relent. Who do you speak like? Don't you hate when you have someone who's that high in charge in their profession to where they have the ability to speak for all of us? Who are you to say Governor DeWine, Governor Abbott, and any other governor who feels like this and who's planning on opening up their state soon? Who are you to say that victory is almost near? Who are you to say that? Did y'all have a conversation with COVID? Did y'all have a meeting with COVID? Did y'all ask COVID, hey man, are y'all almost finished? Did you have a conversation with this virus? Did you make a deal with this virus? Do you know where this virus lives? Did you have a Google Meet or a Zoom call with this virus? Did you call a truce with this virus? I just need to know. Since when all of a sudden, we are about to gain victory? Since when? Let me show you some stats. Here in the U.S., you have 29.3 million cases, over 530,000 deaths. But you see here, they ain't gonna tell you this number right here, recovered. Worldwide, 118 million cases, 2.62 million deaths. Just about 67 million people have recovered. How come we have this number worldwide, but we don't have this number here in America? Why they hide this number from us? Why do we always have to see on the news about this number? And by the way, rest in peace to every one of these individuals who has succumbed to this nasty virus. Much love to all the families who had to endure losses thanks to this virus. But again, why don't we have a number for this? This is Google, right? This is Google. And look here, right here, you have the number for the most cases and the most deaths. Look who's number 2. Texas. Texas is number 2. They had the second most cases at 2.7 million, and they had the second most deaths at 45,966. And they're talking to them, and they just lifted their mandate this week. And yet they're second in the country with the most cases and the most deaths. How? What victory are you looking at? What victory are you fucking talking about? And I'm still stuck at this right here. This right here. Why the hell can't you put a number up? Is that not important to you, America? We got the worldwide number, but we don't have a number here. Why? Why are we so fixated on the number of deaths? Again, the number of deaths, that's a terrible number. It is so terrible that so many people have lost their lives through this virus. But we need to know who recovered from this shit too. We need to know the positive numbers from this as well, as far as people who have recovered from this shit. It's sickening, yo. Let me do some math real quick. So you have 530,000, divide that by 2. Basically, 2,600,000. You divide that up. 20% of the deaths, 20% of the COVID deaths has taken place in America. We are responsible for 1/5 of the COVID deaths. And you have these goddamn governors talking about opening up at 100%. I'm sorry, folks. I promised in the past that I would try to clean up. I wanted to keep this podcast as clean as possible. But goddamn it, I'm mad. Tonight ain't the night for clean talk. Tonight ain't the night for clean language. This is fucking insane, yo. We are responsible for 20% of the deaths worldwide. You know how big of a chunk that is? 20%? That is insane, yo. And you got Texas and Ohio and Mississippi. And of course, you're going to have, throughout the coming days and the coming weeks, we're going to have more and more of these red states saying, oh, we're going to open up too. Why? That death number is just going to increase. Now, I work in education, right? I work in education. I've been in education for 4 years now. I didn't take the vaccine because I just don't do vaccines. I'm not against the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to take the vaccine, I'm the person that's going to encourage you. Hey, you should take it. If you feel like you'll be the safest with you taking the vaccine, go for it. For those who don't want to take it, hey, bro, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? You want to take it? Hey, that's your prerogative. I look at it like this. As long as I take my vitamins, let me show you this. I take 2 of these every day, right? 2 of these right here. Power C, vitamin C gummies, right? I take 2 of those every day, every morning before I leave out the house. I continue to wear my mask every day. I socially distance. Every now and then I may go to a bar, restaurant, that I know has proper social distancing protocols. And out here, you see a lot of people. They be on these flights, they travel, they go to these clubs and bars, and they are packed. Packed. People walking around not wearing masks. They're bunched up with each other. Like, bro, do you not understand what we are going through right now? Do you not care what we are going through right now? So I feel like I'm living the safest I can. I keep my hands clean all the time. I always make sure I keep hand sanitizer on my hands, keep my hands washed. Like I said, I keep my distance. I keep my mask on all the time. I don't go outside without a mask. It's kind of like right before you leave the house, you think, oh man, I forgot my keys. I gotta get my keys real quick. That's how it is with the mask now. When you leave out, got wallet, you got the keys, you got this stuff, you got that stuff, all your work material. I got my mask also. The mask is part of everyday material now. Wear your mask, people. Do not take your mask off in public unless you are in a safe zone. Keep your mask on. Do not fall for these pump fakes, man. Do not fall for this shit. Like I said, people are still dying from this shit, man. It's not over. It is nowhere near over. Continue to be smart. Continue to be smart, man. Do not let the false hope of Governor DeWine get you to a point where you're saying, I'm tired of wearing that mask anyway. I'm not gonna wear that mask again. I'm not gonna wear that mask. I'm tired of that mask. It's hot. This and that. It ain't about that. Continue to socially distance. Continue to wear your mask, people. Continue to be safe. Don't make a wrong decision because you want to have a great night out. Don't go into that packed bar, that packed restaurant, that packed event just because you want to kick it. You can kick it, but just make sure you do it in a safe way. But we need this number right here, bro. We need to see this number. I hate the fact that this number is hidden from us. It's just another example of scare tactics by this country, man. They want to scare us. They don't want us to focus on this number. Yes, like I said, 500,000 people have died, unfortunately. And like I said, my thoughts, my prayers, and all my energy goes out to the families of these people. But let's talk about the people who have overcome this shit as well, who have overcome this virus. Let's get the number from these folks as well. So we get talks about, like I said, Governor DeWine. He's following suit to his Republican brethren. Eventually over the next probably few weeks or so, I would say probably in April, Ohio's going to be opened up at 100%. As premature and as silly as that is, that's the reality of the situation. So, like I said, a lot of you know, I work in education. I work for the school board here in the city of Cincinnati. And yesterday, the breaking news, well, before I get to that, so last week, I'm scrolling through my work email. I get an email about a survey, right? Survey saying, we're planning on going back to 5-day, per week learning. We're going to give a survey out. We want to get you guys' opinion on it, staff and parents. We want to see how you guys feel about this. And we're going to make a decision March 10th, which was yesterday. March 10th goes around. Boom. We are now going to open up schools again. 33,000 students will now be eligible to go back to school, and it could begin on March 31st. Okay. Let me show you an article here written by the Inquirer yesterday. It says Cincinnati Public Schools will move to 5-day in-person learning this spring. Okay. I'm going to zoom this back in for you guys, just like I did the other articles. And this is basically a plan that the board has come up with, right? Choices for families, right? What it could look like. This is for 5 days a week in-person choice. Universal use of masks. Physical distancing to the maximum extent possible, but may not be 6 feet. Okay, it says maximum distance. It says physical distancing to the maximum extent possible, but may not be 6 feet. That's a contradiction right there. Hand washing and respiratory etiquette. Okay. We've been teaching these kids that since the pandemic started, but oh well. Cleaning and ventilating. Okay. Contact tracing, isolation, quarantine, screening testing, coming for high schools, vaccinations for staff. Or the second choice you can have as a parent for your child or children. the distance learning choice, either the Cincinnati Digital Academy or distance learning from home school options. Spring 2021, let me zoom in a little bit more, guys. Distance learning with Schoology. Fall 2021, concurrent live streaming options for classrooms with the highest amount of remote only students. In the spring of 2022, concurrent live streaming options for all. Now, as someone who is an educator, and I love my students, man. Like, I love my students. You know, I do just about anything for them. You know, why are we rushing this? Why are we rushing this, man? Like, this makes no sense. Rush this for what? And I get it. Like I said, I'm partial. You have so many of these kids that need to be in school, that need to be in school. They need to be in school for the services. They need to be near their teachers and other staff. They need to be around their classmates. They need the social construct, right? But also, we need to be safe. I get it. You guys, the blended model isn't the best. Kids only going to school 2 days a week. You go at home the other 2 days. A lot of these kids, they think, hey, I'm at school only 2 days a week. The other 2 days, I ain't got to do nothing. I know that is troublesome, but we got to stay safe. This is not a safe option right here. And this was passed on a 4-3 vote by the board, right? 4-3 vote. I believe we have some quotes here. Actually, we do. We said Cincinnati Public School will offer 5-day in-person learning after spring break. The school board decided in a 4-3 vote Wednesday evening. Board member Ryan Messer made the motion to adopt Superintendent Laura Mitchell's plan to return in-person learning 5 days per week for the fourth quarter, beginning March 31st. Again, why can't we just wait till the fall? Board members Eve Bolton, Pam Bowers, and Mike Morawski. First of all, shout out to board member Mike Morawski. When I was working as a security guard a few years ago downtown, I was securing the building which him and his lovely wife had lived in. They were great people. They were always good to me. Hell, I remember when my wife and I got married, we had a celebration dinner down at the Montgomery Inn Boathouse, and the Morawskis sent a bottle of champagne to us. Mike was always a good guy. I haven't seen him in a while. You know, his beautiful wife, they're great people. You know, anyway, they opposed the motion, citing inequities with virtual learning options for families that wish to stay remote and complications with Walnut Hills High School. This was a tweet from Morawski yesterday. He said, I maintain that 100% virtual for this school year, not blended, is better educationally. And then wait until the fall when we can offer real choice to families and not the specter of choice. He said, and then wait until the fall when we can offer real choice, we meant to say choices, to families and not the specter of choice. But I am prepared to support the administration as we send students back in the fourth quarter. Okay. And it says families that wish to stay in a fully remote model can through the Cincinnati Digital Academy or Schoology, an online educational platform. You know, if you got kids in school, they all use Schoology. Okay. You know, if you're a parent, you have access to Schoology. If you're a teacher, staff member, you have access to Schoology. Schoology is basically our Facebook in education. Everything is in Schoology, right? You know, kids can they can get their assignments, do their homework, anything they need is on Schoology. This option provides 100% student-directed learning, which means there is no live interaction with a teacher. The district's plan to safely return students to a fully in-person model includes the universal use of masks, physical distancing, contact tracing, and screen testing. CPS staff members were among the first educators in Ohio to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. And then it says Walnut Hills High School will also switch to 5-day in-person learning under the district's plan. The high school will phase in by grade level to learn new safety protocols. Okay, and they were just we were just having conversations a couple weeks ago about how the space in Walnut was not adequate enough for social distancing. So you just a few weeks ago, the topic was you can't do the blended learning because you don't have enough space. Now you're gonna throw all these kids in by grade level. How much sense does that make? That makes none whatsoever. But again, what do I know? And it goes back to the big point that I want to make. Just 2 months ago, Hamilton County had reached the purple status as far as COVID. We hit the purple status, people. Purple status is the most severe status in this COVID umbrella, right? You got yellow, you got red, you got yellow, orange, red, purple. Purple is the most dangerous. Let me get y'all to an article from back in January. Mind you, this was two months ago. Okay. It says, and this was from, what's the date on here? This is from January 15th, Dr. King Day. It says, Hamilton County is the only county in Ohio to reach purple COVID status on the statewide system on Thursday. Officials said they believe hospitalizations are part of the reasons why. The data could also inform board members in the county's largest school district as they meet later this week to reconsider blended learning. So 2 weeks ago, so 2 months ago, we were remote, right? And we were contemplating this blended learning, right? We were contemplating going back to the blended learning model. We were remote. All the kids were at home. All the staff were at home. Nobody was in the building, right? And just 2 months later, we're near victory. Victory is in sight. Come on now, bro. It says, county officials said seeing purple means everyone should be on high alert and vigilant. COVID-19 is spreading in this community, and we've got to tamp it down, Hamilton County Commissioner Denise Driehaus said. Hamilton County looks to be the Lone Ranger in the coronavirus Wild West. We'll read that again. Sorry, I had to take a little swig. And she said, Hamilton County looks to be the Lone Ranger in the coronavirus Wild West. Again, this was just 2 months ago. We are only 2 months removed from being in the most dangerous state in the COVID umbrella. We were in purple. It is the only state, it is the only county in the state that was purple. And yet here we are now. We're going to put these babies back in full capacity. There ain't going to be no social distancing. Yeah, kids gonna still wear their masks, but social distancing, that's out the window. Safety protocols, that's out the window. Like, this country wants to be normal at such a rapid pace. You cannot force this. You cannot force this whatsoever. Like I just showed you, we have over 530,000 deaths in this country thanks to this. We are responsible for 20% of the deaths worldwide. I'm not talking about North America. I'm not talking about the combination of Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. No, I'm just talking about the U.S. of A. We're responsible for 20% of the worldwide deaths. That is insane. But yet, we still want to open up. She also says, we have been saying to people, while we have plateaued a little bit, we're still at really elevated levels for cases. Positive cases in Hamilton County and also hospitalizations, and our death rate, is remaining pretty consistent. The purple pronouncement comes days before CPS board members will renew data to help reconsider some kind of a return to the classroom. We all know what happened. We went back to blended back in February. Went back to blended learning. And now, just over a month after that, we're just going to shove all the kids back in. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Please, can someone explain that to me? What sense does that make whatsoever? Makes no sense. Makes no sense, man. Opening up these states is going to do more harm than good. Folks can still shop. If they want to still shop and do all this stuff, you got online shopping now. It's crazy, man. I don't understand it. I don't agree with none of this. It is inconsiderate. It's tasteless. And I mean, what can you do? But just make sure that you continue to stay safe. Don't fall for these traps, people. Do not fall for it. Continue to be smart. Continue to think about you and your loved ones. Because when it's all said and done, man, we lost 500,000 people to this shit. We're responsible for 20% of the deaths worldwide. And within a matter of weeks, we're going to have so many states that are going to be open. We're going to have so many states that are going to make the wrongful decision of lifting these mask mandates, lifting these COVID mandates, and you're just throwing people into the wolves. And you're going to have so many people who are going to be so thirsty to get out here in this world and get out here and kick it. That all we're just waiting on the forest fire to just expand. COVID ain't over with. COVID's not done with. Whatever the victories that the governor's talking about, I don't see no victories. You still got people dying from this shit on a daily. What victories? The people who are dealing with family members dying, they don't see no victories here. All they experience is pain. When it's all said and done, man, this pandemic kicked this country's ass last year. And this country's going to make sure it doesn't go through that again. Should we have shut down? Should we have endured another shutdown? Of course. Would it have been tough? Yeah. Because like I said earlier, we are so used to doing what we want to do. But in trying times like this, it ain't about that. It's about being safe. Last year, I appreciated being at home so much last year. It gave me an appreciation of just being at home, settling down. Because a couple years before that, I was out here kicking it, man. Enjoying myself. Wife and I out here kicking it. Friends out here kicking it. Going out all the time, man. Not every week, every other week, man. Last year sat us down a little bit. Made you appreciate being able to be under a roof, you know, being able to be at home, relaxing. Prematurely, this country's about to be open for business again. What you gonna do, people? You're gonna succumb to it, or you're gonna continue to be safe? With that being said, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. Once again, thank everybody for tuning in this evening. Again, until the summer, On the Mic will air every other week, and best believe this will not be the last time I will talk about this. I will continue to track and read up on this closely. I will continue to follow this closely, man. Not just here in the state of Ohio, but in other states as well. Once again, On the Mic will air every other Thursday, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. You can go on YouTube and follow the On the Mic Productions YouTube channel. Please check out past episodes of On the Mic. Click the subscribe button, and when you look at past episodes, smash that like button. Also, once again, you can check out my wife's Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/RavenJArt. If you mess my wife's artwork, if you support my wife, please continue to do so. And I most definitely appreciate you as well. After I hop off of here in about 45 minutes, I will be hopping on my other podcast that I do with my wrestling brethren. It's called the Under the Ring Podcast. You can check us out on twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod. My little sister has her own Twitch channel that you can follow. You can follow her at twitch.tv/Mo_2_times. Once again, you can check out my sister's Twitch channel. It is twitch.tv/Mo_2_times as well. With that being said, y'all, this is your boy Mike Jones. I appreciate you for rocking with me on the latest installment on the Mike podcast. Much love to y'all. Y'all stay safe. Continue to wear your mask. Continue to social distance. And just enjoy yourselves, y'all. Until then, much love. I'm out.